Welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors, a Bark River Tracker rendition, if you will. Before we get too far into it, guys, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, stats show that number's going down. However, anything above zero is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. You have a place here. We're back to blue over here. We support Leo, all to the chagrin of many. How do you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law. And when we do, because we take responsibility for it. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. So today we're doing the Bark River Tracker. Now, this is going to be more of an old school throwback CCO type video, okay? This is out of order. I just wanted to put some chopping, a little bit of hard use up front. You've seen that piece of hardwood. The whole point of that piece of hardwood was to bang on the edge a little bit. The bottom part of the edge, towards the handle, is a hollow grind, made for fine tasks, that kind of thing. The upper edge on the swoop, what we'll call it, is a convex edge. Now, here's the deal. Let me give y'all some stats. This is Bark River Tracker, made in Michigan, made in the USA. Comes with a beautiful, gorgeous leather sheath. It's made from A2 tool steel, which I love. The overall length is 13 1/8 inches long. Blade length 7.5 inches. Cutting edge is 7 1/8. The blade thickness, and this is the deal here, boys and girls, is 5/16. That is a thick hammer knocker. Now, the handle length is 5 5/8. The inner grip's 4 inches, which will accommodate most hands. It's made from black G10 and it has red liners on the handle skills. Here's the deal, guys. This isn't a skills video, okay? We're going to handle this video just old school. We beat the absolute hell out of this knife. Now, here's the caveat. I wanted to do the wood part first because when we cut the paper, like we normally start the video off with, I want to explain a couple things there about the different grinds and go over a couple things with y'all. Just like any time I pick up a different style knife, like the tracker, whether it's a tracker, an SE, anything like that, the first few minutes of the video, nothing wrong with the knife. The knife is phenomenal. It's well built, fit and finish is perfect, hardcore, but it takes me a minute because we do so many different and various knives, man. And I'm telling y'all, when we do as much as we do, and it's not an excuse because I love it, because we're learning. And you see right there, we're kind of using that recurve, kind of where that hollow and that convex meets, and it's just shaving that wood like crazy. Once I got the rhythm, the first part of the video, this is about midway through, the first part you're going to see me struggle a little bit. That's just a fact. That's why I say this isn't really a skills. If you want a good skills video on a tracker, check out Blackie Thomas. If I can think about it, I'll post a link in the comments or in the description. But Blackie has a phenomenal understanding of this knife and what it's used for. Here's the thing, guys. This is an absolute beast. Now, I don't do this part long, not because it didn't work. You can see shavings just coming off of there to left and right. But I realized about halfway through, like I normally do, there's no like close-up feature on my camera on the phone. That's all I do is use my phone. We're going to swap. But I just decided to stop. It was doing it very, very well. There's that gorgeous leather sheath that Bark River brings with every knife. You can carry it scout. You can carry it normal. I do like the strap. I usually despise straps on sheaths because I cut them every damn time. But the strap on this Bark River sheath, I love. It's long enough when you unbutton it, you can move it out of the way. Now let's take a couple looks. Look at that. Son, that is a thick daddy. Look at that son bitch right there, son. Nothing but beast smoke. Feels real good in the hand. I like doing that a lot. Y'all will see me do that a lot to flip it over to that kind of stab grip. I do that for a couple reasons. It's got some nice jimping on the back. Now, this is some phone book paper that JR sent me. And of course, this Bark River is from JR. He was good enough and kind enough to send it. This is some thin-ass phone book paper, guys. But I wanted to try different edges and things like that. The knife is super sharp. Now, what I did here, because of the different angles and things like that, I went to a thicker paper. I've left the volume up a little louder than what I normally do so y'all can hear that paper shredding like that, and later when we hit the wood. Let me say this though, doing the Donnie B All-day drop test, Donnie B All-day throw it at the stump test. I'll do some shout outs a little later in the video. Doing the Donnie B All-day, I dropped the damn thing test. But I wanted to leave that in, guys, because, these things, these aren't tests. There's nothing scientific. Shit happens. Knives drop, all right? And I want to show y'all that. Now, we're checking the balance of the knife. It is a big knife. It is a heavy knife. Make no mistake, it is a beast of a knife. Now, right here, you can see, y'all seen up front, we were able to get those shaves going, those curlicues going, same kind of wood. But that's what I'm saying, just kind of getting a feel for the knife. It takes a little bit. I wanted to start off where I kind of found the groove of the knife a little bit. That's why I wanted to start the video like that and explain some things as we go. The jimping on the back and the curvature right there where you see I've got a fencing grip. It's got a nice choil right there at the base of the blade. It's very, very comfortable in hand. I did not get a blade thickness. I'll try to put that in the comments. A handle thickness. It fills the hand very, very well. I'd say it's probably an inch thick, the handle. Feels it really good. The palm swells really good. Now, guys, listen. Here's the deal. In all my videos, I'm as straightforward as I can be with the demonstrations and the testing and things like that. Meaning, I don't use certain woods. I grab what I can grab and I demonstrate the knife. Why do I bring that up? Because here in a minute, I'm going to hit some shit that's about half rotten, half solid. And I don't want anybody going, well, it's bad. I know it's bad. I didn't know it was bad until I did it. Now, here we're doing our zip tie test. Edge held up very. That A2 tool steel. And I don't care what anybody says about our career. Honest to God, I can only go with what's in my hand. And the 10 to 15 knives that I've demonstrated at this point have all been phenomenal. They've all held up exceptionally well. They've all been wicked sharp. Fit and finish is 10 out of 10. Not that that matters on the channel. We worry about function. They've all been phenomenal knives. And that A2 tool steel, they do as good, if not better than anybody. See that jimping there? Now, I wish I'd have held that a little longer. We're going to do the John Peter stab test. I like doing this for a couple of reasons. One, it's fun stabbing shit. I mean, let's just be honest. Again, nothing scientific. And I miss about 2 out of 3 times. But I like doing these things because this is stuff we do with knives. You may not stab a whole bunch, but if you need to stab, you want it to be there. Right there, I was checking more the handle. We picked up 2, and those are 1/4 inch thick pieces of sidewall tire. So we went through a 1/2 inch, right? Right here, this was part of my stump. You see half of it come off. But all I was trying to do, guys, this isn't about making anything look good or bad or anything now. There's still some good solid pieces in there, and you'll hear it as we go, but I want to be up front. I just picked it up. Now, we are going to bring some destruction to the top part of that stump. I'm going to try to get with Richard this weekend. I've got a couple more red oak stumps coming. I'm in desperate need of one at this point, and we're going to try to get that going, get one at Kirk's, get 2 at Kirk's, 1 at the house, something like that, so I got something to work off of. But you can hear the parts of the wood that's good, right? But I left it all in, and I need to process it all up. And about halfway through, I thought, you know what? Instead of just goofing off and doing, let's just process up a bunch of this shit so I can burn it this weekend. The impressive part of this knife, other than the girth and the size and the overall quality of the build, you're going to see when we pop the trunk. I was and I almost was like, well, I'm not going to do the trunk, we'll just process wood. I'm glad I did the trunk, because I'm going to tell y'all something. This damn thing's sharp, and it gets it done. Of course, I wish I'd have had everything on camera, but I'm not a cinematographer, and you'll forgive me for that. Now, this video is a little longer. I did that on purpose. I wanted to just put as much wear and as much tear on this knife as I could. And it came through with flying colors. Now, part of the problem here is skill set. Part of the problem here is that 2-inch red piece of hose right there is probably only about 3 inches long, and I should have just gave up the ghost. This is a thick, convex edge, man. Yes, it's sharp. Absolutely sharp. But it is super thick, so it's not, it's not made to do thin slicing and all that. But here's the truth of it. Once we got it in the correct angle, once I found the correct spot, it made short work of the 2-inch high pressure air hose. And it took a minute. And basically, guys, we did just a straight push cut right there, little wobble. You can see what we're doing. Again, just trying to be as straightforward as I can. For any knife to cut this shit is impressive, first and foremost. But for a knife this thick, all the way through, at the edge, behind the edge, around the edge, behind the upside the edge's head, this is a thick ass knife. So make no mistake, I thought the knife performed admirably on this particular test. Now, when we get to the ratchet strap and the sandblast hose, that's, honest to God, it just shined. I was honestly blown away. Let me do a couple quick shout outs now. Donnie B All-day, my brother from another mother, is working hard. He's putting in the work. He's growing. Go over there. He gives some great reviews. Joe's Steel Forged and Fire Sword and Knife. Those two guys are staples. Steel Forged and Fire Sword and Knife. Great content, sword content. You'll love it. Grugsy, Legion Tactical. Test the knives the way Donnie and I do quite a bit. That's his thing. That's his jam, and he does it really well. Legion Tactical. Pistol Pete, another guy who gets after it. Check him out. Angry DRACOLOPE, been shouting out Drac, trying to help him out. He's got a badass series on a museum. Charles Jones, the Redneck Nerd. And guys, throughout the upcoming weeks and stuff like that, we've got a new guy, G-Ball, living with his in-laws. Y'all go check him out. He's on my community page. Got some new guys up there. Check them out. Guys, we're always going to do shout-outs. That's just part of the channel. I don't give a damn if we got 20 million. We're going to do shout-outs. I believe in community. Now, back to the knife. This is an old piece of, a dried-out piece of oak. I love using this type of wood here because if you've ever shaved any oak, you know once it starts drying out, it's a tough medium. But right here, guys, I've started not just trying to snatch the knife through. I've started to try to actually let the knife do the work. And I'm telling y'all, man, this knife is kick-ass. We cut it 3 or 4 or 5 times. That's 2-inch ratchet strap. Everybody that watches this channel, I guarantee it, sometime or another has dealt with that size ratchet strap. It's rough, tough. It's like John Wayne, rough, tough, and don't take shit off nobody, son. It's what it does. What a beautiful knife, too. Now, let me address this because it seems like it's apropos of every knife channel to address the tracker controversy. I don't know anything about it, and I don't give a shit. I don't know if Tom Brown invented it, built it, and I don't care. The tracker style, to me, is a cool thing, but it's also a knife that you need to practice. This is, and guys, listen to me very, very well. If you buy one of these, you're going to have to use it, all right? And you might have the skill set. You got to have a better skill set than mine. I'll be the first to tell you. But this isn't a knife. It's not like something, and Bark River's got like that Crusader, man, that's just dope. You can take it out, it's sharp. You can do anything you want to do because it's a basic knife, or the buoy that we did from Bark River, the Edwin Forrest buoy. It's just dope. It's built for it. The tracker knife with those compound grinds and multiple grinds on the knife, it takes a little bit to get used to. Now, what we did here is we're just trying to put pressure on the edge, right? Slam it up and down, beat it a little bit. We're going to pry a little bit, which I've been asked why I don't do the pry test with a tip. It's a touch thing, okay? Right now, that's a skill set. Y'all have heard me say, hey, I'm a novice, blah, blah, blah. That tip test where you jam it in and go side to side, that is a touch thing, and I will break every damn knife I got. Doesn't matter if it's 5/16 and there I go missing. And I'm just telling y'all, I do practice it with some cheaper knives. I broke them all. Okay, so that's why, in case you're wondering, I don't do the tip test. It's a feel thing. It's a touch thing. That's something that I'll keep on until I get nailed down. I don't like not being able to do certain things, but we are going to do some prying right here. When you got a knife that's 5/16 inches thick, no, that's not what it's meant for. This is a cutting, hacking, chopping, slicing tool. I get it, but this is also a knife demonstration channel. And having said that, this is not the damn QVC network. Why do I say that? Because I've shown knives and people are like, well, they're sold out. Well, tough shit. I don't do these for y'all to buy. Okay, and let me say this to knife makers and knife distributors and people who've asked me to demonstrate your shit. I'm not here to sell it for you, okay? So if you don't like my style And yes, there's somebody I'm talking to, then don't send me shit. Let me put that up, because I'm not here to sell the shit for you. If it's not worth a damn, I don't want it on my channel. There we go. That's being said, let's move on to some positivity. Right here, guys, we got about half a minute left. Now, look, and JR, I promise, buddy, I'm going to clean that up before I send it back to you. It'll be back in the mail this week. But right there, all I did, guys, is gave it a quick wipe down and come in. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to be honest with you. It took a minute here, but it's still got plenty of edge. This is, like I said, this was more of an old school Choir Boys Cutlery Scab CCO video where we just beat the hell out of a knife, and it come through with flying colors, man. Bark River kicks ass, in my opinion, based on what I've reviewed. That's just what I can tell you, and I can also tell you this. I'm Scab. You're not. Man, I appreciate y'all. I'm gone, son.